Hello guys and welcome. So I wanted to do a quick follow-up video to my tutorial showing how I'm going to finish map 1. So this is on easy mode, so I have 150 days. You can see I'm on 113, which means in the next 10 days or so I should get the They Are Billions end invasion. Now I quickly want to take you through how I built up such a mega base and just advice as I go along, and this is just for map 1 and what my priorities were and so on, and I'm sure my priorities will change in later maps, but for now this is how I've done this. So as you can see, every corner of the middle of the map around the control center is surrounded by houses. You see I've got so many houses. I've upgraded them all to stone, which has given me 1,500 residents, and doing that really boosted my gold income like hugely. And what I also did fairly early on is I built these first walls in all the weak spots, and I had another one here, and I still have one there. Now, as you go along, you might find that obviously you'll need to expand. So think about which is like maybe the smallest wall, and maybe expand out here. Expand out, because it's just it's easier to just use this as a tunnel into the separate parts of the base. Now, one thing I do recommend is do have at least a little bit of defense inside the base, just in case a few of them break through. Like, the last thing you want is for 5 of them to turn into 400 of them inside your base and you had no defense at all. So have at least some defense. And you can see my last defense, I've got like a wall and some snipers around my control center, as if that would help. And then what I've also done, I've got the market. Try and get the market ASAP, because it will help you to generate loads and loads of money. Now, let me just set some Thanatos to be made. Now, as soon as you can start doing research from the different workshops, and I recommend upgrading your walls to stone, because the way I've laid out this base with all the stone walls, most of the time entire hordes of zombies are dead before they even break through a wall. And you can see what I've done, given I'm getting ready for the last surge, is I've put executors everywhere. Now leave building executors to the very end, because for each executor you build, you vastly reduce your income. So at one point, as you can see here, look, structure costs minus 4,000. So an army costs minus 184. Now I don't really have an army. I've just got a few snipers on a few towers, but it's mostly these structures. They're vastly reducing the income, but I'm pretty much finished, so it doesn't really matter. And what you do as well, make sure that each entry point, north, south, east and west, you have literally this many guns. You have like 4 executors and one of these shock towers. The shock towers are very good, because you'll see they can knock back 30 enemies at once. If you can double up on walls, do it as well. And like I said, every single point. So you see I've got 4 executors there, some snipers. I still have a ballista tower, which I can upgrade if I want. And then I've got a shock tower as well. Then here, again, I've got 3 executors and a shock tower and 3 snipers. And another executor there, just in case. And then I've also got 2 executors here. I could upgrade this, so not have a third one. And then I've got another 2 executors here and a shock tower. And then shock tower, executor, another shock tower, another executor, and so on. And you can see now my income is basically zilch. So, and I guess the last thing to do to really get ready is spend whatever little money you have left on Thanatos. Because what Thanatos does, he launches really powerful rockets basically against the zombies. So he is a useful ally to have in these situations, and that's why I'm making so many of him, just to reinforce any weak spots you might find in your base. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the recording until the They Are Billions invasion, and we will see if we survive. So give me a second, guys, and the invasion will start. Okay, so the final invasion is about to start. And what I've done in the meantime, I've positioned 3 Thanatos there, 2 there, and I built walls around them just to make it a little bit easier. Then I've got another 3 Thanatos here. I've got a couple more here and also a Titan as well. So what I'm trying to do is just make sure the base is absolutely airtight, because if even one of these defenses fall, then it could turn into a wave of zombies and you lose your main base, even if the rest of the base is absolutely secure. And that's something I've learned from hard experience. I've failed this level probably 4 or 5 times before this, so we'll see now if I really put enough preparation this time to make it completely foolproof. So let's see what happens when the final invasion happens. And I am having so much fun in this game, and I will eventually try and make strategies for the harder settings on the different maps. Essentially build these bases in less of the time. Like, to be perfectly honest, I was ready with this base before day like 90. So I will see if I can make it even faster and so on. And one other thing I did is I upgraded all the quarries to be advanced quarries, because they actually double up the amount of gold or iron or stone that they gather, which can be very useful. And I put a lot of power plants, and I up all the mills I had put before, I upgraded them to be advanced mills as well. The one thing I didn't bother doing was upgrading to advanced farms, because they don't seem to be worth it. And because I already know I'm not going to be upgrading the town anymore, I don't need more food than I have, essentially. So once you know you're not going to need to build any more houses, then stop gathering food. There's no point gathering more. And do place a couple of banks in good positions to make sure you boost the income on as many houses as possible, because it does all add up. And the reason I'm still able to gain money even though my income is minus 250 is because, like, this one for example is gathering pure gold. So if you see gold deposits, then make sure that you gather them. So you see there, 100 gold gathered there. Let's see how much this is worth. And another 162. So there you go. So because of gathering gold with advanced mills, it really does help a lot. And you also, as well, you need to double up, and you need a lot of income from your quarries, because when you start putting power plants, then they use stone and iron as well. So if you don't have enough coming in, then the power plants will not operate. And if you get to this stage, then just build as many oil quarries as you can as well. Oil platforms. I built 3 of them, and it seems to be all I need, because you need those to actually power the Thanatos and Luthor and Titan, and also to do the last advanced upgrades as well. You can also buy them using the market, but they are incredibly expensive, so it's best not to. And like I said before, you really should get the market ASAP, because it will sell excess materials and convert it to gold. And one thing you'll probably find a lot in this game is that you get to a point where you're capping on wood constantly, like really early into the game. So yeah. Okay, let's see. Come on, zombies. I want to see how well I've done. So anyway, guys, when the final invasion actually starts, then we will continue. Okay, so here we go. We're in the last invasion now, day 137 out of 150. So some last minute changes I made as I built some walls here. I put another shock tower and moved my Thanatos up just to really secure it. And one thing is in the game is that I feel that the way it's designed, it's constantly testing you. It's constantly testing your defenses. That's why you'll have the odd couple of zombies here and there and everywhere. Because if the game manages to identify that there's a weak point in your defenses, then it will literally send the hordes exactly at that point. So it is on purpose, basically. Now, they are billions, which is obviously the last invasion. They'll come in from at least 4 directions. So, and it tends to be north, south, west, east on map 1. So I guess we'll see in the later maps is that's still the case. Now, the reason I don't do full Let's Plays or coverage of these maps is that they can last a good 3-5 hours long. So I don't think people would watch that. I just wanted to show the result of the effort, and hopefully it will pay off. And there is many reasons why I've got outer walls and then inner walls and then further inner walls, is because them being stone, it gives you time to try and take them down, and having things like the shock towers and Thanatos will let you blow up hordes of them. So look, here we go. So you see how it's identified weak spots, like it's identified a weak spot here. So that's why it's put so much emphasis on this. But that's also why I've put 2 executors here. It's for this reason. Okay, so that one is done. That one's cleared. This one. Now, I don't mind if some of the outer buildings get destroyed, like farms and quarries and whatever, because it really doesn't matter. This one seems to be okay. Let's keep an eye out on here. Now, this is a weak point. This is a weak point, but this is only the exterior wall. So if it gets destroyed, so be it. I've got 3 Thanatos and way more waiting to secure the base. Okay, so this section is nearly done. Okay. And then let's check this part of the base. Is this part okay? Okay, that seems to be okay. Next, let's see if we defend properly here. So again, these stone walls is what buys you the time, essentially. But these guys who throw the slime, you have to be wary of them because they do a lot of damage. That's why, like, double, triple, quadruple up, just in case. Because you can see that they did destroy some of my Gatling guns. Okay, so it's nearly there. Okay, next. I think there's just the one guy left. So let's send the Thanatos after him. It's just, it happens like this. It gets a little bit glitched. Okay, here we go. These enemies are quite powerful. And that's it. We are done. So we repelled the invasion. We won map 1. Yeah. So 6 time lucky. Go me. But now we did lose a couple of soldiers, and a couple of colonists did get infected because you saw the outside maps. Zones I did allow them to get infected over and over again, but generally that's how I've approached map 1. So the idea will be I'll finish all 4 maps on the easy setting, and then I will start ramping up the difficulty, and I'll cover, like in this video, the coverage of each time I have achieved a victory, how I did it, and what resources it required to repel the invasion and so on. So anyway, guys, if you like these guide videos, be sure to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and if you really like my content, then just tell your friends about me, you know what I mean? Just recommend them to my videos, especially if they're playing this game. If you feel these strategies or these guides will help, then feel free to spread the love. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.